Of the sexes brewing on Capitol Hill today. The Senate's holding a hearing on why women still earn 77 cents to every dollar that a man earns. Senator Hillary Clinton is among politicians pushing hard for an equal pay amendment. Should Congress pass the Paycheck Fairness Act in order to level the playing field? Carrie Lukas is Vice President. I have to just quickly ask you, you're in New York today to address MSNBC's dismissal of Don Imus. Have you met with anybody? What's the latest? Is the situation being handled properly in your opinion?
We've started a wonderful dialogue with the top brass at NBC, along with Reverend Jackson, Reverend Sharpton, many other leaders, and I think an excellent dialogue that we think will lead to NBC building and continuing to build a culture in which a Don Imus incident simply could not happen, a culture that respects women and people of color and will make sure that the airwaves reflect this.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to quickly get that because I know you're sort of on the pulse of what's going on there. Back to this issue here. Do you think that the government should get involved in dictating people's paychecks and the so-called equality of it? Carrie, I understand you've written an op-ed piece that I read, and I thought, man, you made some really good points for the other side of people who might not think that it would be that bad of an idea. But tell me what your thoughts are.
Sure. I think that right now discrimination against women, blatant discrimination, is already illegal. But the problem I have is that we continue to try to convince women that we're all victims of discrimination and repeat statistics like that women make 70 cents for a man's dollar for equal work, when we need to recognize that this statistic just focuses on one factor, and that's how much people are paid. It ignores all of the other factors that go into jobs and to compensation. We need to look at the fact that women tend to work, even full-time women work about a half an hour less per day than men do. We gravitate towards different jobs. We place a higher priority and greater emphasis on things like flexibility, personal fulfillment. We take time out of the workforce to care for children. And I think these are all fine things, and this just reflects different priorities. But the problem is when government comes in and says, well, we're going to solve this problem and we're going to mandate and we're going to micromanage how wages are going to be set, the very flexibility that women crave is going to become more scarce.
Kim?
Well, it certainly is not at all what this bill does. We have laws already that say you can't discriminate against women in promotions. You can't discriminate against women in hiring. We need to make sure that women are not discriminated against in their pay. And in fact, if you ask women, by an overwhelming majority, women do feel that they're paid unfairly compared to their male coworkers. And even more tellingly, when you survey men, even the men say that women are underpaid compared to them.
Carrie, you make the point that when you look at the face value of the women only get 77 cents per every dollar that a man makes, that it's not exactly the same exact job.
Absolutely. Women often, we tend to take on different jobs, and we can see this when you look at the industries that skew male and female. Men take on some of the dirtiest, most depressing and dangerous jobs we have out there. Almost all deaths and injuries that occur while at work occur among men. Men tend to travel more. They spend more time in the office, and they're understandably, to get people to do that type of work, they have to be compensated for it. And we all know professions that don't pay as well, but that are very personally rewarding, that women tend to gravitate towards, but they're not doing it because of pay. We just need to remember that the pay isn't the only thing that matters when it comes to why people choose jobs and to what compensation is.
Carrie, at a time when the Speaker of the House and the Secretary of State and the front-runner in the Democratic presidential race are all women, do we have to be careful that we're not fighting a battle that's on the way to already having been won?
Well, absolutely. I think it's a time to really celebrate the fact that women have come so far. We've had so much progress. But we need to also recognize that the world is never going to be exactly 50% women in one occupation and 50% men. There's always going to be some differences in what the sexes choose to, how they choose to spend their time. And I don't think we should be afraid of that.
Kim, last word here.
We're already celebrating how far we've come. But the fact is that those last 23 cents are not only important to women, but important to families and important to our survival economically. We need those last 23 cents, and we deserve them.
Kim, Gandy, Carrie Lukas, we'll be finding out more because at this point it's an idea, but we'll definitely be following up on this. Our thanks to you both.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The fate of Merck's Vioxx assessor may be in the hands of an FDA panel right now.
Who might be the winners and the losers from a decision on Arcoxia? Our Mike Huckman will break it all down for you.
And then CNBC's chief commentator, Bill Seidman, on whether he